This is the Ford Everest Active. It's the new base spec variant in a revamped Everest lineup. It has the newly offered 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine, and that produces less power and torque than the bi-turbo diesel engine it replaces. But does that actually make any difference in the real world, especially when it comes to four-wheel driving? Well, that's what we're here to find out, so stick around. The Ford Everest Active is available with either the new 2-litre engine or a V6. The 2-litre, which is in our test vehicle, will set you back a manufacturer retailed suggested price of $58,990, but that's excluding on-road costs. If you do opt for the V6, you'll be paying $66,990, and again, that excludes on-road costs. Standard features on board the Active include this 12-inch multimedia colour touchscreen, and that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wired or wireless, whatever you want. There's a wireless charging pad. This vehicle also has a tyre pressure monitoring system, leather accented seats, and a whole lot more. Exterior paint choices include the no-cost Arctic White, or you can opt for silver, grey or black, each of which will set you back $750. For even more details, make sure you read my full written review at carsguide.com.au. Nothing much has changed, if anything, at all about the Everest's exterior, and that's a good thing because it already had a commanding presence and it generally looks good in day-to-day terms on road and off-road. So the fact that they haven't messed with it, you've got to give Ford Australia credit for that. In terms of practicality, there's a lot to like about this Everest cabin, and if you've ever been in one, you know what I'm talking about. Plenty of hard plastic surfaces, durable materials. The front seats in this vehicle are very comfortable. They are manually adjustable, they're not power adjustable, so make a note of that if that's an issue for you. The second row is almost as comfortable as the front, and the third row not so much in the grand tradition of four-wheel drive wagons, but still it's there, and you've got all the safety points, and there's plenty of storage space to use as well. As standard, the Active is a 5-seater, but our test vehicle has that third row in place. With that third row in place, you don't have a lot of load space at the rear, but with it down, we've been able to fit all of our vehicle recovery kit, no problem. The big news here is that this new 2-litre single-turbo 4-cylinder diesel engine replaces the bi-turbo in the current Everest. The news isn't good in terms of power and torque figures because those are down. This produces 125 kilowatts and 405 newton meters, and that's down about 30 kilowatts and down almost 100 newton meters. But in terms of day-to-day driving, you won't notice it. This Everest has the 10-speed automatic transmission, which works great with this engine on and off road. But what this Everest does not have, because it is the base spec model, it doesn't have 4Auto in the four-wheel drive system. It has 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high range and 4-wheel drive low range. With 4Auto in the higher spec models, you can drive on high traction surfaces with 4-wheel drive in operation, but you don't have that option in this vehicle. First things first, the Everest hasn't lost a step on road. It's still very refined, very comfortable. And the engine, though, it is a little bit down in terms of power and torque. You don't notice it at all. There is a little bit of lag under the right foot from pressure down to takeoff, but it's not terrible, it's just noticeable. For light to moderate four-wheel driving, this engine and automatic are a great combination. Sure, those power and torque figures are down a touch, but there's plenty of both on tap here to be a pretty effective off-road vehicle. There's enough torque to just keep the Everest trucking along, and it does have those off-road focused drive modes. It gets everything pretty much that higher spec models get, except for the rock crawl mode, and that's okay because it does pretty well with what it has. It also has a rear diff lock, so you can use that when you need to. The Active comes standard with all-season tyres, but our test vehicle has all-terrain tyres on, and that's an important difference because a decent set of all-terrains will help make your four-wheel drive even better off-road. There is one crucial difference between the Everest Active and the higher spec variants, and that's the fact that this vehicle misses out on four-wheel drive auto. And that's important because four-wheel drive auto allows those in higher spec Everests to drive their vehicles in four-wheel drive high mode, essentially an all-wheel drive mode, and you can use that on high traction surfaces, sealed roads, bitumen, blacktop, that sort of stuff, just affording you a little bit more safety and security in the rain, when it's a little bit slippery, those sorts of circumstances. But this vehicle does not have that. It has two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive high range and four-wheel drive low range. Perfect for light to moderate off-roading, and again you do also get a rear diff lock in this vehicle. You just miss out on four-wheel drive auto, so make a note of that. Everests have always been impressive off-road, whether it's been the 2-litre bi-turbo or the V6 vehicles, and this 2-litre engine is perfectly adequate. It's not going to win any praise for being grunty and torquey and gutsy, but it does the job. It gives you the ability to just truck along in this vehicle through light to moderate off-roading and even on the fringe of tougher stuff, and all round it's impressive. So all in all, there is a little bit of lag, but otherwise there is no discernible difference with this engine as opposed to the bi-turbo. This is still an impressive four-wheel drive vehicle with plenty of potential. Fuel consumption is listed as 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres, and that's on a combined cycle. On this test, I've recorded 8.9 litres per 100 kilometres, but I have done a lot of high and low range four-wheel driving. The Everest has an 80-litre fuel tank, so if you had a full tank of fuel, you could reasonably expect a driving range from this vehicle of just under 900 kilometres. This vehicle also has an AdBlue tank, so you'll have to top that up when required. The Everest has the maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating, and that's from testing of the Ranger in 2022. As standard, it has 9 airbags, AEB front and rear parking sensors, and a tyre pressure monitoring system. But the base spec variant does miss out on the 360-degree camera and adaptive cruise control. For even more details, make sure you read my full written review at carsguide.com.au. The Everest is covered by a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and it does come with 12 months of roadside assistance, and those 12 months are extended every time you have your Everest serviced at a Ford dealership. Service intervals are set for every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs soonest, and each of those appointments will cost you $399 a pop. Ford Australia has more than 180 dealerships around the country, so you shouldn't have any problems finding somewhere to get your Everest serviced, or indeed to find spare parts. The Everest has always been an impressive four-wheel drive wagon. It's refined and comfortable on-road, and it's very capable off-road. As standard, it has a lot going for it. It's packed with features, and it's just a nice daily driver. The 2-litre Active is a solid entry point into the Everest lineup, and though it lacks some of the polish of the higher spec variants, and indeed it lacks that power and torque of the bi-turbo engine it replaces, there's still a lot to like about it, and it makes a strong case as a touring platform vehicle. But what do you reckon? Have your say in the comments section below, and make sure, as always, you read my full written review at carsguide.com.au.